I'm having a problem with my painting. I have a drawing in. Go to Procreate. I want to pull in a photo. Say recent. I'm going to go to that one. This is the current painting that I'm working on. The reflection is terrible. And what is bothering me about this is the sidewalk looks like it's dipping down, like you're running down a hill. And I'm going to try to figure out why that is. Why is it doing that? And how will I figure that out? Well, let's say I tap on this here, which means I'm copying that color now. Now I'm going to just try to see. Go over here. I want it to be darker. What is wrong with this? Copy that color so I can, oops, I said copy that. All right, you're gonna be a pain in the butt. Copy that color. I wanna figure out why the sidewalk looks that way. That looks better. Apparently, whatever the heck I had there in that little curve was just not looking right. I think that looks a lot better. So that kind of helped me to figure out why it was doing that. I'm not great at drawing, and I tried to do it a couple of times on my actual painting, and it just was not working for me. Let me take my hand away for a second and put it back. Now that looks like a straighter sidewalk. Sometimes you just have to get away from it, far enough away. I can't step back that far in my laundry room. I think that looks better. So that now I can start to apply some paint. I don't want to go through all the process of painting and have the whole thing be kooky. I'm going to paint this picture of this tree and the light shining down the end of the way there, because it reminds me so much of what it was like in the morning standing there waiting for the bus with my son in the dark. It's just a memory I want to put in my head. I always thought it was beautiful with the light shining from the street lights. And I'm going to try to make this scene very dark with the tree illuminated and some of the street lights illuminated. We'll see how it turns out. One of the benefits to painting in the studio is you can make some choices that maybe enhance your painting a little bit. You're not quite as tied to the exact colors that you see at the scene. I chose to make this a little redder rather than the dark, almost black color that I saw out there in nature. I can be a little more expressionistic, which I like to add to my paintings. My emotion, my feelings, are the reason I'm painting the picture to begin with. So why not try to show how I feel about it? For me, the light is almost always the most important thing in my painting. So hopefully by the time I get this finished, I have a glowing light on this tree and on the trees that are in the background as the light shines down and around them. the smallest little thing, like adding more blue to this mixture, less alizarin crimson and more dioxazine purple, and you have more of the darker shadows on the right side. The left is where the light is coming from. The trees that all border this street are like this one. They're beautiful, old, proud trees. And I love looking at all the different shapes of the branches as they twist and turn. Now I'm adding some color to the entire painting because I have my darks in, and now I'm putting my mediums in. And now I'm going to go ahead and wipe out my lighter colors. So basically I've kind of turned this into a no tan, or at least a 3 level value study. Here's where some of the lights were shining the brightest on the tree, on the street. In some ways I just like the painting like this, without any color in it, just left to my imagination. But of course I will finish it for you. This is just a soft rag, a Viva towel. Most of the time any paper towel will do, but when you're wiping out, it's nice to use a soft towel. Viva is more like cloth than other paper towels. Most of the dark that you see behind the tree and beside the tree are bushes and leaves that I will add some green to in a little bit. Different darknesses of green. The grass is also beside the tree and running down the side of the street. And it's kind of burnt out looking, so I will add that to it. A little bit of brown and sienna and umber colors. I've been wanting to paint this painting for years now. I love the way this bush right there has caught the light. And that's why I'm painting that green in first, so that I can kind of key the rest of my greens to that green. There's a wonderful shadow being thrown by the tree. Now, how do you make that look like a shadow and still have it be understood that the other dark structures behind the tree are bushes? Well, you have to make a shadow color that is a shadow. I guess there's a little more blue in it and brown in it, and less of the green. It's moving along pretty well so far. I changed where I wanted that light right there. It was a little bit high. Sauteing some fresh tomatoes and garlic and onion. Put some oregano in there, nice fresh, extra virgin olive oil, salt, pepper, and a little hot pepper flakes. Got my water going with some salt in it because I'm going to make a little bit of homemade pasta over here. Got my eggs in here already. Going to add my flour, a little bit of oil and water, and hopefully, with any luck, make some flat pasta with that particular attachment, but we shall see. Either way, whatever I make, we're going to eat, no matter how terrible it is. I'll let you see it as we progress. Sorry for my screaming bird, how inconvenient. I've got a cup and a half of water. To that, I'm mixing a half a cup of my dehydrated tomato, which I also have garlic and oregano and salt and pepper mixed in here. Then I'll decide how thick I want this. Gotta mix it a little bit until it thickens up. Get it where you think you want it. Then you can add it to the rest of the stuff. It really does a nice job of rehydrating. Excuse me. So I think I need more. So in it goes. You can use this to make ketchup. You can use it to make tomato paste or tomato sauce. I'm not making a very ragu thick sauce. I'm just making a nice thin sauce today. Okay, I'm pouring it into all the rest of my yummy stuff here. Mix it up. And let this simmer and develop a delicious flavor while we get the rest of the pasta made. Yummy, smells good. Kind of fettuccine style. Going straight into the sauce. These are homemade, so they look funny, but they will taste good. Get that. Get that. These guys are trying to escape. Okay, almost. We don't mind a little water because the water has all that starch in it, which helps to thicken up the sauce. And that's about it. I think we got them all. Let's just make sure there's nobody else hiding in there. Nope. Move that over. Shut that off. This will turn down. Sorry, the camera keeps moving. The sauce is all ready with the nice little tomatoes in it and the fresh garlic. And we're going to shred a little bit of fresh provolone cheese on top, or Parmesan, whichever is your pleasure. And lunch is served. I'm recording this while my bird is sitting on the top of my iPad, so you may hear tapping sounds. Every color decision you make is dependent on and interferes with other color decisions that you have made. So when you decide to make one spot on a tree a lighter green, you have to evaluate the other colors around it. Is it too light compared to the lightest green that I'm keying this painting to on the right hand side? Is it too purple? In the sidewalk, when I try to put some cast yellow light, does it still look like it's a pavement or a piece of cement? Or have I made it so yellow now that it actually looks like the grass that's beside it? So everything you do is dependent on the color beside it, the color in front, the color behind. So it's a constant push and pull of colors where you run one color into the other to try to influence that color, and vice versa. Sometimes you're going back and forth, lightening and darkening, adding a little more hue, more yellow, less yellow, more green, more purple, until you get it to look realistic. The real photograph is not quite as vibrant and not as lively, not as exciting. So I've chosen colors that are in the right hue, but not necessarily the exact same color. So for that, I have to do a lot of configuring. And yes, you are seeing green on the side of that tree. Something I had always heard was the north side of the trees have the moss or the, I don't know what it is, algae growing on them. And they are right, because everyone on this street facing north does.